30 weeks ago, I started something very unusual on the internet, on YouTube.
She can do it.
Charlene the shearer here, who is filming as we speak, got her camera, and I sat in my little room at home and I sang a song, and I said, I'm sitting in my knitting chair and I'm knitting here, yeah. Why? 'Cause I really do care. Pukeko, he is knitting too, and we are doing it, whoop, 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 oh yeah. Have a delicious day, hey, 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 keep knitting away. And I asked people to knit a square to show they care. I didn't know where it was going to go, and I didn't know 30 weeks ago what the response would be. But the response, ladies and gentlemen, has been huge. We have had donations of squares from 5 countries, from 27 towns around New Zealand. I have knitters that are knitting weekly and bringing their knitting and sending it in to PO Box 193 Gore on a weekly basis. To date, we have received 2,890 knitterlicious squares. Now with those squares, ladies and gentlemen, each week I go to the mailbox dressed in my sheep onesie. I go home, Charlene the shearer films it. We open the mail live so people can see that their parcels are being received, and I show their squares. Now they are coming in all different shapes and sizes. Then those beautiful 2,899 squares are hand put together by Charlene and I into these. Every single one is completely different. Every size and shape and patterns all have to be matched, and that's the biggest challenge that we have. Then, after this, they get made into a hug rug, which is polar fleeced. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a hug rug. This is my unique invention that I decided needed to go out into the world. This hug rug has been made, 192 of them. That's what we're up to. 192 hug rugs have been made so far for this project. The hug rug then gets packaged up. It gets cellophaned and ribboned and sticky labelled, and this is what it says: the Nattering Knitter. This hug rug has been made for you with squares, knitted by many people because they care. Knit a square to show you care, wrapped up with hugs for you. So hug your rug and know that many people care for you. 192 Pikikos now wearing. 50 of them were donated to the Salvation Army here in Gore, so that people can sit with them on their knees and not turn the heaters on early in the afternoon. They were donated for people with house fires who lost everything, and they've been gifted to children. Then 45 of them went to Dunedin to the Red Cross for the very first 45 Dunedin refugees coming in. Each refugee that came into Dunedin last month received that in their house for every single person that came in. This week we donated another 55 to the refugees because we've actually been asked by the Dunedin Red Cross for 190 hug rugs, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't sound like a lot, and it is achievable when we're already at 192. So far 150 hug rugs have been gifted. Out of these squares that are coming in, and you can see the difference in them, and all the shapes, the sizes that we're putting together, only 20% of knitters are people that I personally know. 80% of what is being gifted is coming in from complete strangers. that have just seen it on Facebook and seen it on YouTube. So every single week we do a vlog of what we're doing. I go down to the post box dressed like this, you can imagine, and pick up the squares, and I show each week when we put the squares into a blanket so people can see their square and see where it ends up. Last week the Dunedin Red Cross donated 2 fish bins full of wool towards the project because they were so wrapped with the next lot that went up there. After we've done this, we've been approached by Women's Refuge to give them a few, and also for some night shelters. So the project at this stage I said would go for about a year when we started because I had no idea, but I don't know where it's going to end up actually. So the 5 countries that we've had donations from have been England, Hawaii, Thailand, Australia, and good old God's own New Zealand. The biggest challenge we have is matching them. That's the hardest. Not once have we gone to that post box apart from the very first week and not had mail. So for 29 weeks solid, knitting and crocheting has been coming into our town for this project. And that is outstanding, isn't it? I think that is absolutely phenomenal. Someone said to me one day, did you ever doubt it? I said, I never ever doubted it. They said, why? And I said, because I'm crazy enough to do it. Now, Pukeko here is my sidekick, and I do talk to him regularly on the YouTube clips if anybody has seen it. Because I've now been doing a few of these public talks to get the message out there so that the fabulous people of Queenstown and Mosgiel and up in Tiana can send in now, and that's more mail, and it's so exciting when it comes in from other places. I've actually had, believe it or not, to make up business cards. So please grab one so that you've got it, and all it says is the Nattering Knitter, Knitter Square to show you care, PO Box 193 Gore, New Zealand. And then it just says that I'm the Nattering Knitter on Facebook, so you can like the page and then all the YouTube clips come up which shows you the progress. Now the progress at start in October was really, really slow. Then the fabulous Enzyme came along, and in January they took a photo of me in my onesie holding up some squares. The response from that was outstanding in this community. Jenny, Parata. The Parata ladies, how many, Jenny? Over 700 squares gifted. Parata Rest Home alone have donated over 700 squares. Albany Rest Home have donated. The police station has donated. People with businesses in town have come knocking on my door and donated. The beautiful, fantastic ladies at the St Andrew's Church gave me $50 last time I spoke to them towards polar fleece. And that was huge, because as you will know when you're doing it, charity is not cheap. And it was fantastic to be gifted money towards polar fleece to help out with the blankets. The Gore response from the newspaper article was phenomenal. I've had people knocking on my door at 32 William Street, so you don't have to spend money posting it to the post box, Gore people, to 32 William Street, bringing me full knitted gorgeous blankets, bringing me 50 squares at a time, all because of that newspaper article. And that's the one thing that sprung it into action and got it going the way that it has gone. Where it ends up, I'm not entirely sure, but watch this space.